Speeding tickets. Can you believe the revenue of between $122 and $127 million in each of the last 3 years? Well, those numbers could tumble thanks to a judge in Abitibi. Did you hear the story? Justice Jacques Barbe released 4 offenders in a single day from their speeding tickets because they had to wait 26 to 35 months between the day a police officer gave them the ticket and that day of their trial. Clearly, the judge said, this is an unreasonable delay. And apparently thousands of other tickets could be canceled as well for the same reason. Let's find out the significance of this, and perhaps your speeding ticket may be dropped too. Avi Levy joining us from Ticket911. Good morning, Avi.
Good morning.
Is this really a significant judgment, or are we just dreaming?
No, it's actually a significant judgment. Basically, they've set the delay, the reasonable delay, to about 18 months, the Supreme Court has. And if it takes longer than 18 months, then there is a good chance that you'll be able to get your file dismissed.
Wow. And we're talking about, according to this judge in the ruling, that, there's a backlog that could take up to 2 years now. So it sounds to me like, they got to wave bye-bye to some of that money.
Well, exactly. Prior to this judgment, it would regularly take 2 years and a bit to get a court date. And now, sort of as a result of this judgment, all these changes are being made at the city in order to be able to handle the cases in the reasonable delay that the court has set.
I'm all for, doing the right thing, but I don't know if letting, speeders off because of, backlogs is the right thing.
I'm going to tell you something. It's not just for speeders. It's for any case. There's been DUI cases where the gentleman has been let off because the delay has been unreasonable. So it's not just for speeding.
So can I repeat my same statement? I don't know if those cases should be let off because of delays, given it isn't really the right thing. If you broke the law, shouldn't you be held accountable?
Yes, you're absolutely right. But on the flip side of that coin, we have the Charter of Human Rights and Freedoms, and Section 11D says that a defendant has the right to be tried within a reasonable delay. And if you're waiting 3 years for a trial and half your witnesses are gone or they don't remember what happened because it's been 3 years, that's going to be a problem for the defendant as well. So in a free country, like ours, there's got to be a balance of both sides of the equation so that it's fair for everybody.
And playing devil's advocate here, though, if you know that you're going to get a speeding ticket or maybe a DUI, you may and it may be dropped because of the delay, and clearly there are lots of delays in courts right across not only this province but this country. You know what? I'll take the chance. If I do get it, I'm not going to go through with it. Aren't we making our roads less safe?
Well, no. In a way, the delay that they're talking about is not a delay that the defendant has any control over. So in other words, it's not like the defendant can say, I'm going to put off the case, and then I'm going to claim it's unreasonable. If the initial date from the time that you're arrested until you have to show up in court for the first time is more than 18 months, that's when they start to look at it, and then that's when they determine, okay, is it reasonable or not?
It was nice of the court of the land to sort of say, this is reasonable time for you, Mr. Canadian. But is this going to be a loophole they're going to plug when they realize their revenues are going to drop?
Again, it's not really a loophole. It's a basic right under the Charter, and they cannot really change the Charter that easily. So I don't think it's something that they could just plug, as you say. Mm-hmm. I think it's something that they're stuck and they have to live with. And basically, they have to make sure that the judicial system is flowing in such a way where people can be heard within, 18 months or thereabouts of their being charged of something.
Is there going to be a hiring spree now to try and speed things up?
Apparently, they hired about 15 more judges yesterday. So they're definitely doing what they need to do to be able to comply with this. They're not taking it lightly. And ever since the decision has come out, you've noticed that court dates have been coming in faster.
Yeah. Tell me about the people who come to see you at Tickets911. Are they people who are hoping to get off, or are they people, who say, I was wrongly accused?
Both. There are people who need some help, and there are people that feel that they were wrongly accused and they need help and they don't know who to turn to, so they turn to people like us that are familiar with the system and that can guide them in the right direction.
And how does it work? How much do I have to pay you to get me off?
Depending, but for example, if you go on the website, all the prices are there. But for any ticket from 0 to 3 points would be $179 plus tax. Uh-huh. And basically, we'll take care of filing the not guilty plea. We'll take care of getting the disclosure of the evidence, and we'll take care of negotiating with the prosecutor on your behalf in order to, number one, reduce your points, and number two, reduce your fine, both of which have a positive impact on your driving record and your insurance premiums.
And do the majority of people who come to you and are they guilty and they're just looking for an excuse and an option?
That I don't know, because when they walk in, they don't tell me that they're guilty. Most people come in and tell me, I have a problem and I need your help.
Right.
Look, this happened and I wasn't on my phone, or look, I got caught for speeding and I can promise you it wasn't me. So very few people, or nobody actually comes in and tells me I did it, but I need help. And I think that's a little bit normal.
And you don't want to judge. You'll let the judge judge.
Correct. I'm just there to help them if I can, and usually most of the time we can.
So as we go back to the story at hand, and thousands of tickets could be canceled, is that something that's going to happen in your opinion in the near future? Are they going to have
that is something that's going to happen, Leslie. And I can tell you one thing: not too long ago, there was a judge somewhere in Quebec that dismissed 400 tickets in one day because of exactly that reason.
Wow.
400.
Wow.
Yes.
But they're on to it, and that's why the hiring spree is underway.
They're on to it,
Yeah.
and that's going to be. It's not going to be open for very long, in the sense that you're now going to get dates in a reasonable time.
It's interesting. I've got a texter here who says, "Don't worry about loss of revenue. They're just going to install photo radar." Avi Levy from Tickets911. Thank you for your time this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Leslie.